The second one is the so-called bodhisattva deft comprehension. Deft comprehension focuses on good words. The meaning of kindness is too deep, and when it comes to the profound meaning, it is difficult for us to understand, and there is no way to achieve it. We must lower this standard so that it can be implemented in our lives. How do we learn? So today in our session of the Infinite Life Sutra, we focus on faith, understand, prove. How to implement it in our life. How to implement it in our work, dealing with people and dealing with others. We learn to do it and do what we can. First, deft comprehension is knowing gratitude and repaying the gratitude. To think well is to repay kindness with gratitude, and we can do this. Always remember the kindness of the three treasures, the kindness of sentient beings, the kindness of parents, and the kindness of the country. We recite the above verse every day, the fourfold grace. A person may often think of gratitude, his virtues will accumulate more and more. We often say that accumulating merits, and that is the accumulation of virtue. The subject of knowing and repaying kindness is not easy to say. In the Mahaprajna Sutra, what the Buddha taught is the bodhisattva of the second stages of development. Bodhisattvas of the second stages of development have 8 subjects in their studies, one of which is to know and repay kindness, which means that gratitude is precious. The wisdom of bodhisattvas on the second stages of development is quite high, and only he truly knows the grace. Ordinary people don't know the kindness of parents' upbringing, the kindness of teachers' teaching, and the kindness of the country's protection. This should be understood. People without nationality are so pitiful now, and it is very pitiful to be homeless all over the world without nationality. The country protects you, the country is strong, you get a passport, go to any country, people will respect you. If you have no nationality, everyone will look down on you. You have to realize from this place that the country has the grace to protect us. All sentient beings give us the merit of helping each other. The clothes we wear are not woven by ourselves, the cotton is not planted by ourselves, and the rice we eat every day is not grown by ourselves. You just know how many people in the society have worked so hard to support us for a day. What should we give in return? So we are the first ones to really know how to recite the fourfold kindness, especially the 3 treasures. In the 3 treasures of grace, the fourfold kindness is truly fulfilled, and it is completion and consummation. I cannot go into detail about this meaning, and it would take another hour to explain it in detail. Fortunately, after you listen to it often, you will gradually wake up. Second, we must remember the suffering of all beings. Only by thinking of the sufferings of sentient beings can we develop our own great compassion. When you see these suffering beings, if we want to help these suffering beings, you must earnestly study hard. If you can't achieve your own virtue, your knowledge, or your ability, how can you help others? Therefore, I hope that fellow practitioners will see the suffering beings all over the world. And for these suffering beings, we must work hard and earnestly work hard. I hope that the sooner we achieve it, the sooner their suffering will be eliminated. The later we achieve it, the more they will suffer. You should always have this mind. Always have this kind of heart. People will never slack off. This is really called bodhisattva heart. It is really great compassion. Now in this world, people have realized the suffering of all beings. There are people, but there is no way to solve it. The year before last, when I was in the 2nd class, fellow practitioners in the 2nd class knew that I asked for 3 days off to go to Australia during our classes. The Australian Minority Affairs Bureau is an agency of their government. The director invited me to give a speech, and I agreed to him. I went there on the first day, gave a speech the next day, and came back on the third day. What is the nature of this speech? The director is a Jewish Australian. When I met him in Australia, he talked to me about a problem. Australia has adopted an open policy, that is, immigrants from other places are welcome to come to Australia. These immigrants, they have different cultural backgrounds, different lifestyles, different races, and different religious beliefs from the local people in Australia. Now they come here and live together suddenly. How can they seek social stability and prosperity? How can we eliminate all kinds of differences and estrangements, and help and cooperate with each other to prosper the Australian society? They thought about this problem, so they set up a forum. They hold a meeting every month, and the participants are all religious leaders. I went to participate that day, and a total of 14 leaders of different religions gathered together. This is because the bureau chief invited me to give a speech, which is aimed at this problem. I called the leaders of these 14 religions, and I called them all bodhisattvas. They were very strange. Christian pastors, pastor bodhisattvas, Catholic priests bodhisattvas, Islamic imam bodhisattvas. Judaism, I don't know what to call them. I call them elder bodhisattvas. They are all bodhisattvas. It was strange to them, so I explained to them that a bodhisattva means an enlightened person, who is wise and enlightened. Do you admit that you yourself are wise and enlightened? Yes. Then you are a bodhisattva, a true bodhisattva, not a false bodhisattva. So they were very happy with me and didn't reject me at all. We introduced Buddhism to him there, explaining that Buddhism is not a religion, that Buddhism is academic, that Buddhism is education, and that believers of any religion should learn Buddhism. Why? You have to learn wisdom. If you have wisdom and enlightenment, you are called a bodhisattva. Therefore, the Buddhist law does not tell you that you have to betray that religion before you come to learn Buddhism. This is what Buddhism does not agree to. That is against the morality of the society, and the Buddha does not accept this student. You are a religious person. You love your religion. You respect your God. The Buddha praises you. You are a good child of God, and a good student of Buddha. If you believe in religion, you can take refuge in the three jewels and become a student of Buddha. You have a father-son relationship with God, and you have a teacher-student relationship with Shakyamuni Buddha. Where is there any conflict? No conflict, very harmonious. After my speech, everyone was very happy and asked me many questions. Among them, an amiable Jewish elder asked me this question. He said, "It is said in the Bible that human beings commit some crimes, and they will be judged in the end. The final judgment, does your Buddhism say the final judgment? Who will make the final judgment? Who will come host?" I heard this and I said, "That's right." I said, "Buddhism is about education, regardless of the trial. Schools teach, exhort good people to rule out mistakes. Trial is a matter for judges, not for the ministry of justice. Buddha is for the ministry of education, not the ministry of justice. Who presides over this trial? God." They listened and were very excited. We are teaching, promoting good, preventing errors, harmonious. I have a lot of respect for them and they have a lot of respect for me. At that time, they invited me to be their permanent member. I don't often go to Australia. They said, "It's okay, you can send me one article every month." I send them an article a month. In fact, I don't even need to write. There are so many in there should be no place to stay but a mind. that I immediately told the Australian initiates that they would use English to translate a chapter. Give them once a month.